Myself, 34-year-old female, and my fiancé, 33-year-old male, hosted Thanksgiving for our family and a couple of friends this year. A few days prior, I wrote a list of things that needed to be done before the day and assigned certain items to my fiancé and daughter, 16-year-old female, because otherwise those things just wouldn't get done, such as cleaning the ferret cage, bringing in the extra table from outside, etc. Things that are too heavy for me with my back issues. The day before, I spent 6 hours deep cleaning the kitchen and dining room and a couple of hours prepping dishes for the next day. On the day of, I was up at 8 a.m. cleaning and cooking, while everyone else slept until 10 a.m. Then they got up and helped with the few things left on my list. I cleaned and cooked until 5 p.m. when it was ready, and we finally ate. As I mentioned, I have chronic back pain, and by the end of the day, I was so tired and in pain that I couldn't even eat. After everyone left, we put the leftovers in the fridge and decided to work on cleaning up everything else the next day. I was still in so much pain and so tired Friday and Saturday that I didn't get out of bed much at all. I needed to rest and didn't think much of it. Sunday rolls around and I get up and start to work on Christmas decorations and the Christmas tree, assuming my fiancé would get to the kitchen cleanup that still hadn't been done since I had done pretty much everything else for Thanksgiving. He asked if I was going to help clean up, and I said I didn't think I should have to, since I did all of the cleaning and cooking and thought he could handle it himself. I continued to work on the Christmas decorations. He proceeded to tell me he was so proud of me for getting the house so clean and that I should continue to be responsible for my house so it doesn't get messy again. I said I didn't plan on never cleaning again, but I thought he could handle the cleanup from the party. It turned into a huge argument with him continuing to say I should help with the cleanup because it's my house and I should take pride in its cleanliness. I refused to back down, saying I did everything else and he can handle cleaning up. Am I the idiot? Edit. Thanks everyone for confirming what I thought. I will be having a discussion with him after he gets home from work today, and depending on how that goes, decisions will be made. A few other things people asked. 1. Yes, he does live with me, but I own the house in my name. He has lived here for 2 years. Usually, he has no problem pitching in with his share of the cleaning, but I do tend to do more than him overall. 2. Yes, I have a full-time job, but I work from home due to my back issues. 3. My daughter had plans for the day after Thanksgiving and Saturday, but she did end up doing most of the kitchen cleaning on Sunday afternoon. My fiancé cleaned up a little and did a load of dishes. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, and the daughter should be in on the cleaning. They both sat around the past 2 days and left a mess for OP. Each of them could have done half or something. Comment 2, not the idiot. Thanksgiving can't be over yet because you still have a big turkey at your house. Comment 3, not the idiot, and I would be re-evaluating the wedding date if spoken to this way. Now, for the update. After that exhausting Thanksgiving, my fiancé and I had a long, much-needed discussion about division of labor, expectations, and empathy. We both acknowledged where things went south, and he finally understood the physical toll my back pain takes on me. I think seeing me that worn down really opened his eyes. We've since implemented a new system in our household, where we have a shared calendar for chores and tasks. It's been a game changer. My fiancé has been stepping up without being asked, and he's even done some research to better understand chronic pain and how he can support me. Our daughter has been incredibly sweet too. She made us a chore chart with stickers, adorable I know, and she's eager to help out where she can. It's turned into a little family bonding activity. But the real heartwarming bit? This year for Thanksgiving, my fiancé insisted on hosting it at his place. He and my daughter teamed up to cook the dinner, and they did a fantastic job. I was actually able to sit back and enjoy the day. We even had a moment before everyone arrived where the three of us just embraced, and I could tell there was a new level of understanding and appreciation between us. After our guests left, he sent me straight to bed with some tea and took care of everything. The next morning, I woke up to a clean house and a little note from him expressing his gratitude for all I do and his commitment to our partnership. It feels like we've turned a new leaf, and Thanksgiving has a new, more profound meaning for us now. It's not just about giving thanks once a year. It's about showing appreciation and love for each other every day. Thank you all for the advice and support when I needed it most. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's great to hear that your fiancé made an effort to understand your chronic pain and stepped up to help out. It sounds like you both communicated effectively and found a system that works for your family. Plus, it's heartwarming that your daughter is involved and you're all bonding more. Kudos to your fiancé for cooking and cleaning up after Thanksgiving. It really shows their commitment to your partnership. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not appreciating your fiancé's efforts sooner. Sure, they stepped up now, but it sounds like you might have been a bit harsh during that Thanksgiving fiasco. It's important to communicate, but also to be patient and recognize that people can change and improve. Your fiancé seems to have done a lot to make things right, and maybe some gratitude on your part could have come earlier in the process. Comment 3. Not the idiot. And wow, your Thanksgiving update is the wholesome content I needed today. It's wonderful that your fiancé didn't just step up to the plate, but went the extra mile to research and truly understand your struggles. The new chore system seems like a practical approach to household management, and it's adorable that your daughter is pitching in. Cheers to new traditions and a fiancé who's truly a partner in every sense of the word. Now, for the next story. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I, 32-year-old female, am a den leader for our local Cub Scout pack. For those who don't know what a den leader is, I'm in charge of a group of kids all the same age and plan activities, make sure they earn their patches, and I make sure they are doing what they need to do to have fun, be safe and advance. I put a lot of work into this to make sure the kids are engaged. One of the kids in my group, Wolves, is my own scout. On to the issue. I have 9 kids in my den, soon to be 12 kids. Parents are required to be at every meeting and activity, but I'm lenient, and if something comes up, I don't mind keeping an eye on a few kids every once in a while. I will even pick up and drop off when needed. Here lately, I have had 3 parents that have been asking me to pick up and drop off. Every single meeting. 1 family, 2 kids, 1 in my den, 1 for another den. I am their adult helper and don't mind bringing them every time because their parents' work schedules have changed. The difference is, I'm very close to that family. The other 2 are where the problem is. It started with, I can't come tonight, can you take the kids? Or, something came up at work. It quickly turned into me being solely responsible for their kids. Last week I sent a message out saying I wouldn't be there that night and another leader would be taking my son. I had emergency eye surgery earlier that day, so I absolutely could not drive. This led to messages from these 2 families calling me an awful leader and asking how their kids were supposed to go. Yes, it was supposed to be a fun night, but I explained why I couldn't go. They started in on me on why should my son get to go if theirs couldn't. After countless messages back and forth, I finally laid into them saying, yes, I am their den leader, but I am not responsible for making sure their kids got to Scouts. I told them to get their crap together and take them themselves. I am now up for review because they complained. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. My sister went through this too. Hold firm and make them follow the rules. Comment 2, not the idiot, but stop helping with pick up and drop off. Comment 3, it needed to be said. Yeah, a hero. Now for the update. After the whole review ordeal, I was honestly bracing for the worst. The committee took a couple of weeks to deliberate, and during that time, I did a lot of thinking about boundaries and how I'd been handling things with the pack. The stress was sky high, but I kept in touch with the rest of the parents, who were incredibly supportive. Well, the review finally happened, and it turns out I had more allies than I realized. Some parents actually came to my defense, explaining to the committee how much I'd done for the kids, going above and beyond the call of duty. They shared stories of their kids coming home excited about what they learned and did, and how I made sure that every child had a chance to participate, no matter what. The committee concluded that while I could have set clearer boundaries, I certainly wasn't in the wrong for expecting parents to take part in their kids' scouting experience. As for the 3 families that complained, the committee spoke to them separately. It turns out one of the parents was going through a tough divorce, and the other had recently lost a job. They were both drowning in their own problems and unfairly leaned on me without realizing the burden it caused. We all sat down together, me, the committee, and the 3 families, and had a heart-to-heart. Tears were shed, apologies were made, and it felt like a weight lifted off everyone's shoulders. They hadn't realized the pressure I was under or how their actions affected the entire pack. One of the parents, the one going through a divorce, even volunteered to take over some of my administrative duties to lighten my load. The most touching moment came a week later, when the pack organised a thank you day for me. The kids handed me handmade thank you cards, and one of the dads had fixed up my old car, making sure it was safe for those times I do need to pick up a couple of kids. Another family started a carpool schedule so that no one person would be overwhelmed. It's been a few months since then, and the atmosphere has completely changed. We're more of a tight-knit community now, and everyone's stepped up to share the responsibilities. It's amazing how a little turbulence brought us all closer and made our pack stronger. I learned a lot about leadership, communication, and forgiveness. I'm still the den leader, and oddly enough, I'm grateful for the drama that happened. It taught us all a valuable lesson and made our Cub Scout pack one of the most united and dedicated groups you could ever meet. Now for the comments, comment 1. Not the idiot at all. It's heartwarming to see a community recognise and appreciate someone who's clearly putting in the work for the kids. It's tough when you're juggling responsibilities and trying to keep everyone happy. The fact that the parents stepped up to support you and even offered help shows you've made a real impact. Plus the thank you day. That's the cherry on top. It's clear you're making a difference, and I'm glad the pack sees that too. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not setting clear boundaries from the start. Expecting parents to just know what you need without clear communication is setting yourself up for failure. It's great that it all worked out in the end, but it's important to remember that leadership includes effective communication. You could have avoided this stress by being upfront about your needs and the level of involvement required. Hopefully this is a learning moment for better teamwork in the future. Comment 3. Definitely not the idiot. It's always easier to criticize than to help out, and it sounds like you were doing your best in a tricky situation. The fact that some parents were dealing with personal issues doesn't give them the right to take it out on you. I'm glad they apologized and are now contributing. It's a testament to your character that you were able to turn this around and strengthen the pack. Keep up the great work. Now, for the next story. So this weekend we did Thanksgiving late due to work schedules and such. Super small family gathering, just my parents, my guy, and our 2 kids. Pretty informal because we live 2 miles apart and see each other all the time anyways. We did it at our house, gave my folks the option of ours or theirs, but figured with the kiddos it might be easier at our house. We did the turkey as well as 2 sides, and my parents brought over the rest of the sides and a dessert. After dinner was finished, my mum, 65 years old female, and I, 33 years old female, went and did the dishes in the kitchen, and everybody went and sat down on the couches and watched TV after dinner. When I was finished, I went in and sat down with my guy and kicked my feet up on the recliner with him and put my head on his chest, which I wound up falling asleep for about 20 minutes. Obviously this is unintentional, but being a mum of 2 little kids who also works night shift at the hospital, it just happened. Long story short, when I called my mum the next day, she pretty much laid into me that I ruined Thanksgiving, and that she has never felt so hurt that I wound up falling asleep, and if we wanted them to go, I should have just mentioned that the party was over. I tried explaining to her that I was just full and relaxed after dinner and dozed off for a few minutes. It's not like I went upstairs and went to bed. I stated that I thought everyone had a good time, and she hit me back with, "You couldn't even get an extra chair so we could all sit at the table." Mind you, I have a large farmhouse bench and 2 chairs on the end of my table. This is how it has been set up for years, and it has never been an issue prior to tonight, and we all fit just fine. She proceeded to tell me that I let them and my kids down, who showed no signs of this, and that she is just trying to hold this family together. In turn, she beat around the bush that I am a bad mum, although she denies saying that after the fact. The conversation wound up getting pretty heated due to this. I was absolutely caught off guard and stunned that something as minimal as this, in my mind, could completely cause a fight of this caliber. So, am I the jerk for this? For context, so nothing is being left out that could contribute to the bad mom statement. I don't do drugs, never been arrested, have a college degree in healthcare, which I've worked at the same company and held this job for 11 years. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Your mom sounds off her rocker. The post-Thanksgiving meal nap is as much an American tradition as the turkey is. What's her actual problem, because this ain't it? Not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Everybody piling up on the sofa and falling asleep is pretty much what you're supposed to do after a big Thanksgiving dinner. Comment 3. Not the idiot. If everyone who takes an accidental nap after being stuffed with turkey and stuffing is an AH, then we're all AHs here. Now for the update, I reached out to my mum a few days after our argument hoping to clear the air. Instead it opened up a floodgate. She brought up every perceived slight I'd ever committed, dating back to my teenage years. It was like she'd been keeping a ledger of disappointments, and my nap on Thanksgiving was the final entry. 2 weeks ago, my youngest came down with a nasty flu. I was already drained, juggling my night shifts and caring for both kids, but this took it to another level. I missed work, lost sleep, and was running on fumes. My mum knew what was going on, but offered no help, no words of encouragement. It was a stark contrast to how she'd swoop in before, eager to be the doting grandmother. Then last week the other shoe dropped. My partner, who'd been my rock through all this, got laid off. The timing couldn't have been worse. We were already strained from my mum's cold shoulder, and now we had financial worries to pile on top. I've never felt so alone. With my partner job hunting and me trying to pick up extra shifts, we're like ships passing in the night. To cap it all off, yesterday I received a letter from my mom. Not a text, not a call, a letter. In it she said she needs time away from our relationship. She feels I've been ungrateful for her help over the years and that my attitude on Thanksgiving was the last straw. She's cut off contact and even unfriended me on social media. It's like she's erasing me from her life. I'm heartbroken. The thought that our relationship could be so fragile that it could crumble over a nap is devastating. I'm struggling to keep it together for my kids, but every day is harder than the last. The house feels empty without the love and support of the woman who raised me, and I'm left questioning my worth as a daughter and a mother. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You reached out to mend fences, and it's her loss if she can't see past old issues to support you when you're down. A mother should be a source of comfort, not additional stress. You're going through enough with your child's health and your partner's job loss. Her needing time away is her issue, not a reflection of your worth. Stay strong for your family, that's what truly matters. Comment 2. You're the idiot. There's likely more to the story if your mum felt the need to step back. Maybe she's overwhelmed too, and the argument was the last straw. You've got to consider her feelings as well. Relationships are two-way streets. Reflect on past interactions and whether you've been supportive of her. Healing takes time on both sides. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your mum's behaviour isn't fair to you, especially when you're already dealing with so much. Her holding on to past grievances isn't constructive. You've got a sick child and a partner who's out of work. That's where your focus needs to be. Her choice to cut contact might hurt now, but it might also be a blessing in disguise, giving you space to focus on what's important without negative energy. Now, for the next story. Last week, when I was out of the state for a short vacation, my friend Janice texted me out of nowhere that she's having a surprise bridal shower for another friend, Kim. This was on Tuesday. The said surprise party was on Saturday and I was returning on Friday. So I told her, I'm not really sure if I can make it because I'm out of the state and I will be tired from all of the travelling. And Janice then convinced me, begging me to come because it would mean a lot to Kim. So I agreed. And then Saturday rolls in, I go to the bridal shower. Mind you, this is my first ever, so I had no clue what I was getting myself into. So Janice prepared everything. A dress, shoes, flower bouquet, flower crown, and a bridal veil. And when Kim arrived, Janice gave everything to her, so I thought it was something Janice prepared for Kim. The party was okay, with like 7 people. And then as the party ended, I asked Janice, how much should I contribute considering everything? And she laughed off and said, "No, are you crazy? I am happy you could make it." Well, that was it until today when she messaged that all of the guests, i.e. the 5 other people, owe her $200 each, and she wanted me to Venmo it to her. And I don't work. I'm a broke butt uni student, so I asked my mom and she's like, "No, Janice tricked you and you should not pay." I do get where my mom is coming from, but I can't really do anything else except to pay her. Am I the jerk for not wanting to pay this? And how can I give Janice a piece of my mind without sounding too cheap and petty? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Any cost to you should have been advised before the event, so you could base your decision on whether or not to attend on that. Simply tell Janice it's not in your budget to contribute, and you would not have attended if you had known up front. Comment 2. Just ignore it. If she follows up with you, remind her she told you not to worry about money and she was just happy you made it. If she pushes, be honest. Tell her you're broke and never would have agreed to come if you knew. Comment 3. Every shower I've been to, people bring gifts for the bride. I've never seen anyone give the bride a dress, shoes, flower bouquet, flower crown, and a bridal veil. This seems very strange. Now for the update. First off, I decided to follow my mum's advice and have a chat with Janice about not being able to afford the $200. I was nervous, but I figured honesty was the best policy. That's when things went sideways. Turns out Janice had pulled the same stunt with all the other guests, and I wasn't the only one upset. A couple of days after I talked to her, one of the other guests, Mia, made a group chat excluding Janice, revealing that she had found receipts in Janice's apartment, their roommates. That totaled up to only $600. There were 20 of us at the shower. Janice was trying to pocket $3,400. Mia organised a meet-up, and almost everyone showed up. We were just going to confront Janice together when Kim, our bride-to-be, called. Here's the kicker. She never wanted a bridal shower in the first place. Janice had convinced her it was a tradition she couldn't skip. The plot thickened when Kim arrived at the meeting spot, furious but also on the brink of tears. She had been doing some digging of her own. Janice's story about Kim's fiancé being on board with the shower, total lie. He was as clueless as the rest of us. Fast forward to the next day. We all gathered at Janice's apartment for the confrontation. It was like a scene straight out of a movie. Voices were raised, tears were shed, and the truth came out in all its ugly glory. Janice finally confessed she had made up the whole thing to make Kim happy and get a little help with her own financial problems. She sobbed, apologized, and promised to return any collected money. In the end, Kim called off the friendship with Janice, and the rest of us got our money back. Kim's fiancé stepped in to handle the situation, saying he'd oversee the financial aspect to ensure Janice followed through with her promises. To mend fences, we're throwing a small genuine engagement party for Kim, with a strict no-gifts policy. As for my relationship with Janice, it's pretty much non-existent now. I'm just relieved this whole ordeal is over, and we can focus on celebrating Kim's upcoming wedding without any more surprises. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Janice was the mastermind of a scam that preyed on everyone's goodwill. It's not just about the money, it's about the breach of trust and the manipulation. Kim's reaction proves that none of this was done with her consent, making Janice's actions even more egregious. You did the right thing by confronting her and ensuring she couldn't take advantage of anyone else. Janice needed to be held accountable for her deception. Comment 2, you're the idiot. Okay, Janice pulled a fast one on everyone, but showing up at her apartment for a group confrontation. That's intense and could be seen as bullying, even if she did mess up. There are more civil ways to handle conflict and get your point across. You could have discussed repayment plans or mediated with a neutral party. This public shaming might give you short-term satisfaction, but it doesn't fix the deeper issues. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You all acted as a united front against someone who was clearly taking advantage of friends and a situation. It's not just about the money, it's the principle. Janice's lies could have ruined Kim's special time and possibly her relationship. Plus, you made sure Kim got the celebration she wanted without the stress of unwanted gifts. Sometimes it takes a village to protect one of their own, and you did just that. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.